to my channel. Gracias a todos los que me siguen en YouTube, Instagram y Facebook. Antes que nada, les quiero avisar que voy a hacer otro giveaway de un pastelito y unos cupcakes, unos quequitos. Voy a dejar todas las rules abajo en el video y también en mi Facebook y mi Instagram. For everybody that is watching this video, I am going to be doing another cake giveaway. So I will be leaving all the rules down below. So on my Instagram and on my Facebook page as well. So please make sure that you're following the rules in order to be submitted into the drawing. The cake that I have put on this video is a cake that I did in November. It's a pretty neat cake. I'm sorry that I didn't record some things, or maybe I forgot that I wasn't recording. So I can do an additional video on how I did the actual leaves of the marijuana cake. And then we can go from there. I'll look for it, but just to make sure that y'all kind of know how I did it, etc. So I thank everyone once again, and December is the month of, you know, being together with family, cherishing every part of your family, and that's why I'm doing this giveaway, for giving thanks to all of you guys. So let me know if you like this video. Give it a thumbs up. Thank you. Adios. Okay, so what I'm doing here is putting frosting. I did a total of 3 layers, 9-inch. Each layer is about 2 inches tall. I also put a filling. It was fresh strawberries in the middle of 2 of the layers. So what I'm doing there is putting the frosting, doing a crumb coating. And you want to do this all the time, just because of the crumbs that, you know, you may get, and then your frosting doesn't look as smooth and white. So right after this, I did go ahead and put the final coating, so it can have like nice smooth white edges. And I'm using one of Wilton's like thicker tips, and one of Wilton's bags as well. Those are reusable. The tip, I do believe I've mentioned it to you guys before. It is a bigger one. I will leave a link to it on the bottom. That tip is about $3 maybe, and the 16-inch piping bag, it's about like $8 or $9 in the store. But it works really well in trying to get even lines, like even width, more than anything, on the frosting. So it's easier when you're trying to frost a cake. So this cake, even though this video is very short, the frosting of the cake does take a little bit longer. I reduce the time of the video because I don't want to bore anyone. So but I try to be as precise as I can, you know, with the cakes, for them to have like straight edges, and on the top for it to be leveled as much. You know, of course, it's not always going to be like 100% perfect, but we always want to strive to get those edges nice and flat, and, you know, at a total perfection. So that, what I have on my hand right now, it is a spatula, like a bench scraper. That bench scraper, I'm not sure where I found it, but you could just Google it. Like, you can get it anywhere, Walmart. And I believe I can almost tell you that I got it at a hardware store. You know, the ones that the painters use. And then, of course, you want to sanitize it and all that good stuff prior to using it, just like anything else that you use to make a cake. And I am using quite a few things to make the icing smooth. This other one that I'm using right there, that's made out of plastic. It's like a laminated plastic. That one works really, really well to get nice smooth edges. I slowed down on this take right there because it is the cake topper, I guess you could say, for the cake. It's the marijuana. I did make that. I've made it already 2 times. This one is a smaller version of it. I have made a bigger version of it as well. I did forget to record that part. I guess I thought I was recording and I wasn't all this time. The dollar bills, I've showed it in a different video. And the little blunts, you just roll up the fondant, and once it looks, you know, in that shape, that's really all that it is. You know, all these cakes do take a little bit of time. Every single one of these leaves and the other leaf itself took some time. I literally went in and I didn't use a stencil. I actually did it just freehand. I first kind of drew it on top of green fondant, and then I cut it with a sharp knife in order to have those edges, and then I kind of, you know, did little side cuts on all the leaves so they could look a little bit more realistic. So it did take, you know, quite a long time, because you want to make sure it looks as real as possible. I did poke a hole in the middle of the marijuana leaf, because that's where I'm going to put the lit up blunt, I guess. And what I realized then is that the little blunt was not as hard as I wanted it to be, so it was kind of bending backwards. So what I did in that case is I did let it rest a whole night in the refrigerator, and it hardened up by the next morning. And all the coloring that I did on the leaf, I did use food coloring in order for it to have a little bit more realistic look to it. That tip that I have there is a star tip. No, a seashell. It's like a seashell tip almost. All the frosting that I'm using, it is whipped cream. A lot of my customers are liking that type of cream more and more. I mean, I do have my buttercream people and fondant, but in this case it was the whipped cream. And all you have to do is get another bowl, put the whipped cream in there, the white one, put some food coloring, some gel food coloring, mix it up and put it in a bag. Oh, yes. And this is the final result of the cake. It's so cute, and my customer loved it, and she's actually a friend. So that's basically it. Thank you again for watching.